video, we're going to talk about right triangle trigonometry. First, the vocabulary. An angle of depression is an angle that's formed between the horizon and the downward looking angle. For example, looking down at the dog or looking down into water. An angle of elevation is the angle that's formed between the horizon and the upward looking angle. For example, looking up at an airplane or a bird. If we look at a right triangle, if we look at across the theta angle, or the angle that's the opposite, the angle touching the angle theta is the adjacent and the long side is the hypotenuse. So we can define sine of theta as opposite over hypotenuse, cosine of theta as adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent of theta as opposite over adjacent. Example 1. In triangle ABC, the leg opposite A has length of 20. The leg adjacent to A has length 21, and the hypotenuse has length 29. Find sine A, cosine A, and tangent of A. So to find sine A, that's opposite over hypotenuse. So in this situation, it's just going to be 20 over 29. To find cosine of A, that's going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. So in this situation, it's going to be 21 over 29. And to find tangent of A, that's going to be opposite over adjacent. And this situation is going to be 20 over 21, and we've solved this right triangle, and we're done. Example 2. Sailing on a salvage boat locates an object at a downward angle of 50 degrees and a distance of 510 meters as shown in the drawing. How far below the water is the object? So to do this, we need to use technology. So first, before we do this, we have to figure out what trig ratio we're talking about. So we have our 50-degree angle and our d's are opposite. So our ratio is going to be sine of 50 equals opposite over adjacent. So it's going to be d over 510. We're going to cross multiply. So d is going to be equal to 510 times the sine of 50 degrees. Now we're going to use technology. So first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we are in radians. So we click the gear on desmos.com, hit degrees, and now we'll just type in 510 times the sine of 50 degrees. And we get an answer of 390.7. So D equals 390.7 meters, and we're done. Example 3. You wonder how tall a grain silo is. You walk 60 feet from a silo and find that you have to look up at a 38-degree angle to see the top. If your eyes are 5'3" off the ground, how far is the grain silo without the roof? So first thing we have to do is we know that we are 5'3". So 3 divided by 12, that's going to be 0.25. So we're adding 5.25 to whatever we solved when we solved this triangle. So just like the last one, this time it's going to be a tangent. So this will be tangent of 38 equals, we'll call this x over 60. So to get x, we're going to do 60 times tangent of 38, and when we get that final answer, we'll add 5.25. So it's going to be 60 times tan 38 So it's going to be 46.9. So 46.9 inches. We'll add 5.25. So 46.9 plus 5.25, we get 52.15. And if we're trying to convert this to feet, we're going to divide it by 12. Just so we can get a better estimate of how tall this thing actually is. 52.15 divide 12 feet in an inch, so 4.34 feet. And we're done. Example 4. For safety, in climbing a ladder against a wall, the ladder should ideally make a 75-degree angle with the ground. If the ladder is 12 feet long, how far from the wall should you put the base of the ladder? So we're looking for this side x, so it's going to be cosine of 75 degrees equals x over 12. So we're multiply both sides by 12. So we're at 12 cosine of 75 equals x, and once we solve, we know how far we should be from the base of the wall. 12 times cosine 75, so we should be at least 3.1 feet from the wall. And we're done with right triangles. Hopefully you have a better understanding of how to work with right triangles and how to solve them.